Do you communicate with people? Or are you frustrated sometimes that people just don't get your point of view and don't understand you? Well, would you like to be more irresistible in your communication with other people? Then you are at the right place. Last week we spoke about NLP or Neuro Linguistic Programming in the big picture. Today we speak a more specific area, namely the linguistic part of NLP. So welcome to this Facebook Live session tonight here, and I want to say already hello to Sean. Good to see you here. Tonight's session is, of course, Let's Talk NLP. The episode goes on creating irresistible influence with NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. Now, of course, who am I? Who am I to talk about this? Well, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Andreas Dorn. I'm your Certified NLP practitioner. I'm your Certified NLP trainer. I'm running a company here in Malaysia called Asia Mind Dynamics. And since about 2005, we are offering the most amazing certified NLP practitioner training to people like you. The most amazing certified NLP practitioner training to allow you to experience your life the way you want to experience it. So yes, hi Vella, good to see you. Sean, Sheila, you are here. Yes, Kay. Let's roll immediately. Let's get started immediately. After I have to show you, of course, this little thing that I forgot to click on. But let's the ad roll and we get started immediately. All right. Okay, and you know how the show goes, right? You can ask your questions, you can comment, you can participate. Of course, make some noise if you want along that line, ask your question. And I promise you that in the end of this session, you will know what it needs for you, what you have to hold in your mind when you are communicating with people, and some of the amazing tools that NLP offers you for you to reach out to other people and make yourself heard. Okay, so let me give you a quick shout out again. I'm happy that Sean is here, a regular visitor. Vella, you are back from India. I know you're always over there, so I'm happy that you are here as well. Sheila, I saw you this morning already. I'm going to see you tomorrow morning as well again. Of course, my darling Nachwa is here, always supportive. Who else do we have here? If I haven't shouted out to you, that simply means you haven't introduced yourself in this live feed. It also means, of course, well, say hello to everybody else or to me here, comment in the comment box so I do know that you are here, so I can give you a personal shout out as well, all right? So if you are ready, let's make some noise and get the show running. Well, tonight we're going to talk about Neuro Linguistic Programming, as I mentioned already. And last week we spoke about Neuro Linguistic Programming or NLP. And tonight I really want to focus on the linguistics part of NLP and why it's so amazing to learn. Linguistic is really, as I showed last week, it's about language. The words spoken, your words coming from your mouth, but also the words that flow through your mind every single day. It's structure and how we influence others and us around us, of course. Oops, I'm blabbering around with that, okay? Well, of course, we need to communicate, right? We all communicate one way or another. So And we're always communicating, isn't it? And it's important that we are communicating with each other. And if you are a normal human being, and I just simply assume you are a normal human being, you will realize every now and then whatever you say, people just don't get you. They just simply don't understand your point of view. And sometimes they say something to you. And of course, as well, similar thing, they say something and you look like blank stare and you wonder, what are they talking about? Nearly that's the wrong word here. What are they talking about? And you have no idea what's going on. And sometimes it really happens, that we argue our point, we have our point of views, we are supporting it emotionally with facts and statistics. And the other party just doesn't get it, and sooner or later, sometimes comes something we don't quite want to have. We are arguing, and we are getting into a fight. And why actually that's the case? Why is it possible that we are trying the best to make ourselves heard? We're explaining it in the most beautiful, flowery words, give examples, and the other person just simply don't get it. And what I'm sharing with you, what some people simply don't get if they haven't learned good NLP is that there's no reality. It's shocking to some people to hear that. You might say, what? There's no reality? Of course there's reality. I can look around. I can see things around me. Why do you say there's no reality? Why do I, Andreas, here say there's no reality? Well, there's one reality. I give it to you, okay? One reality is, the only reality existing is in your mind. The true and false in your mind, your own interpretations about something, your own perception about what's going on in the world, your own ideas about something, your ideas, your world inside here is based on your upbringing. And the world, your world inside your head, for sure is different from my world. That is point number one that you really need to understand. There is no reality. Your world and my world is different. Again and again and again, I have to say that. I'm really stressing that always. It's really important. We are living in our head and we are perceiving the world different from each other because we have different stuff inside of our head because, hey, we are all different, and I hope you get that already, okay? So if you get that, if you realize what I'm saying here right now, if you agree with me, hey, please agree with me, then type in a yes. I agree in the comment box right now. I want to see if you get that point of view that there is no reality and that we are all different from each other. Please type in the comment box, I agree that there's no reality, in brackets if you choose to. So I agree with that statement because there's no reality, There are different interpretations. Hey, good to see you as well. Hey, good to see you. So hey, please type in the comment box, I agree. If you agree that there's no reality. The only reality existing is what's going on in your head, your own interpretation. Hey, Ponima, good to see you as well. Good. I'm happy that you're all here. I was just talking about where there's no reality. The only reality that is existing is a reality inside your head. Your own interpretations about something, your own perception of what is really going on in your world, because we are all different. So please type in, I agree, in the comment box if you agree with that statement. We are all different interpretations about something, different perceptions, different ideas, different upbringings. Hey, Alex, good to see you as well. Different worlds running in our mind. We are all different. Well, just simply they. Thanks, Nachwa, for agreeing with me. Yeah, think about how we are different and our different interpretations about something. Think about that. Think about food. The food you like, I just don't like sometimes. Or I like food you don't like. Think about durian. This Malaysian beautiful food called durian. Some people totally love it. Others don't like it. If you like it, you can also type in, I like durian, Think about singers and the different songs and the different music streams in the world. Some singers, some bands I like, you don't like. Some you like, I don't like. Hey, I like durian. Yes, of course. You like Duran Duran, huh? Think about movies. Certain movies I love totally. Other movies, I sit there and I wonder how come everybody else likes it and I just don't like it. And like some movies I like and other people don't like at all. There are different realities, different interpretations. I pick up something that I like and you are picking up different thing that you like. Books, anything, a meeting that going to meetings and ask something. I love Bollywood, yeah. And Sean is saying durians are made in a way not to eat. I see, whatever you mean by that, okay? Looking at durians, smelling durians, but not eating them, is it? But the main part really is whatever I put out here, and you have your own interpretations. Going to a meeting. Some of you might like the meeting, others are saying like, what went on in that meeting? We're going to watch a YouTube video. We are going to different restaurants. We are meeting different people. Even people, we like a person. Somebody else looks at us and they're like, how come you like that person? I don't like that person because we have a different reality inside of our head. And it is so incredibly important because to understand this, because of the different reality in our head. This causes misinterpretations. We think we look at the same thing. We think we look at the same movie. We think we look at the same sports event. We think we look at the same, we experience the same thing. We actually don't do it. We have our own interpretations. We might look at the same thing. We might describe the information outside, but how we are describing something and the meaning we are giving to it is definitely different. So the important part is that when I talk to somebody, let's talk about interpersonal communication. This beautiful thing called interpersonal communication, a communication from me to you and from you to me. And then there is something that you have to realize that sometimes, or I have to realize, in order to understand you, I cannot expect you from the beginning to understand me. I have to try to understand you, but I for sure cannot expect you to understand me. I can't expect that. So I gotta go into every communication and I'm explaining something and I'm describing it to the best way possible. And I might have to have the feedback from your side, asking me, hey, or I ask you, do you get what I'm saying? Do you understand? Can you follow? Are you okay with that? That's what I'm doing. Because, hey, when I'm doing that, I get the feedback from you. And if I look at you and you look like blank, blank, blank stare, I have to stop talking and go back to the point where we still were in harmony with each other. So really, I have to understand, and you have to always understand that you are responsible. I am responsible for my communication and my outcome, because I can't control you. I can't control your thoughts. Hey, I can't control your communication. I can't control anything that goes on in your head, in your life. I cannot expect you to understand anything from what I'm saying. I can only make sure that I'm explaining it the best way possible. And if you explain something to me, I have to give my best to understand you. I'm responsible for my communication, for nobody else's communication, for nobody else's mind. I can't control you. I cannot control you. Hey, that would keep me very busy. I have enough stuff to do in my own mind to control myself. If I have to start to understand you and to control you, then I'm getting very, 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 very busy, of course. Hey, Sheila, you're back. I thought you were here already before. I'm getting busy if I'm trying to understand everybody. So I need to understand that the only person I can really understand, the only person that I can control is me. I'm the only person that I can understand. I'm the only person that I can control. I can the only person that has to make sure that my message gets across appropriately to everybody else. Nobody else. I'm in charge of my mind and therefore my result. That is a very important piece that you need to understand, that I am in charge and you are in charge of your mind and therefore your results. So if something goes wrong in my communication, I have a choice. If I talk to you and I realize you look at me with a blank stare, or I realize my point of view does not get across, then I have a choice to say, I leave it as it is and I leave you in the state of not knowing, and I'm okay. Or I have to make sure that I'm explaining it in a way that you get it ultimately. I would have to change my communication style. If something goes right in a communication, hey, I can celebrate. I can, say hello to me and I can celebrate myself. It gives me the power. Because if I'm in charge of my mind, I have the power and the strength. I can decide by myself if I understand enough from what you are saying to me or not. I can decide how I want to react to your communication. I can adjust my communication to your style. I can explain more, or I can ask you questions to get to know you more. So I can decide always what I want from a communication, but that in turn requires me to have one attitude in my mind, one state of mind that I need to have. If I communicate with you, I must be curious. Write down this word. Write this word down. I'm not sure, Sheila, that's the right English right now. I know you're the English teacher earlier. It's a most important word that you can ever learn. The most important attitude that you can hold in your mind is to be curious. Be curious about what's really going on in your communication with somebody else, if they can follow you or not. So, if you are curious, if that person looks at you with a blank stare, then you can always ask, what's going on? Do I need to repeat? Are you understanding me? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to say so you understand my point of view? You get my point of view. That is important. That is giving me the control over a communication. That gives me the control over the outcome of the communication I spoke before. And hey, it's really the important part that you need to get here then is really the only thing that is a curiosity I just mentioned earlier, because as Walt Disney was saying, we keep moving forward, open new doors and doing new things because we are curious. And curiosity keeps us from leading us down new paths. We keep moving forward, opening new doors, doing new things because we are curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new pathways. And that is important because curiosity, just as I mentioned earlier, curiosity is the most important skill you can ever learn. So why do I love NLP so much? Well, to me, NLP and the linguistics part of NLP specifically comes from three great people I'm going to talk about in just a moment. And they were three therapists. And it's great that therapists started off this understanding, this linguistics part of NLP, or they were the models that were modeled by the creators of NLP. And because they were therapists, they had to have that skill to explore the mind of their patients or their clients. So therapists must have that extremely great skill. They must have a good skill to have linguistically to explore the mindscape of their patients, to understand what's going on in the landscape of the mind of their patients and to remove their problems. So these were three different great people I want to talk about in just a moment. One person was Fritz Perls. He was the founder and creator of Gestalt therapy. One was Virginia Satir. She was very much engaged, or the founder of family therapy. And one was Milton Erickson. He was, the founder, creator of medical hypnosis, family therapy, and conversational hypnosis. Or Fritz Perls helped clients to focus on the present and understand what is really happening in their life right now, rather than what they may perceive to be happening based on past experiences. Virginia her work was designed to improve relationships and communication within the family structure by addressing a person's action, emotions, and perceptions as they relate to that person's dynamic within the family. And Milton Erickson was an American psychiatrist and who specialized in medical hypnosis. And his work was influence breath therapy, solution focus therapy, strategic therapy, systemic family therapy, child psychology, and even sports performance training. So it showed that these three people were really, really, really awesome people in understanding what's going on linguistically in the mind of their clients or patients. After them, of course, came other influences, and nowadays everything might be changing again because we are going from the offline world to the face-to-face communication to the online world. In the online world, communication is very different, of course. It's different if you're reading something online, if you're communicating like I'm communicating to you right now. But that it really means that communication is extremely important. You want to understand why NLP communication is so extremely important. Because as Peter Drucker, I'm not sure if he died a couple of years ago already. He said the most important skill in communication is hearing what is not said. And that's beautiful, isn't it? The most important skill in communication is hearing what isn't being said. And that is amazing, isn't it? Because that forces us to really learn the skill to reach out. But if you want to hear what is not being heard or what is not being said, it simply means we need to be curious, to look beyond that person's communication style and understand what is really being said when they talk. And to me, as an NLP trainer, of course, that is one of the most important skills to have. To understand when I talk to somebody, what do they really, really, really say when they communicate to me? And to really, really, really make sure if they communicate to me that I understand their message. And I'm doing this by asking questions. And that, for example, means, not to ask why questions. I give you one tip. That is very important because, hey, when you learn how to communicate, what's going on then? If you just improve your communication skills by 10% or 20%, imagine you get a promotion, imagine you get a business deal. Hey, imagine you're single and you can get that boy or girl over there to go out with you. Imagine you're improving your relationship with your husband or your wife or your children. Imagine you get your messages across to many people as a trainer, as a coach. How would that make you feel? That would be awesome. I believe overall it would really be awesome if you are able to communicate at much, much higher level. Hey Brian, good to see you. It's tuning in as well. So in NLP, really the main part is you're learning questioning skills to understand what is being said, to challenge somebody's perception, to challenge somebody's interpretations in a nice and gentle way. So you don't need to understand everybody what they're saying, but you're asking questions, and you don't ask why questions. Imagine, for example, somebody says to you, your child says to you, or your client says something to you, or the partner you're speaking to says something to you like, I don't understand. What would a parent say? Why don't you understand me? That would parents say, right? Why don't you understand me? I'm talking to you, dear child. Why don't you understand me? So in NLP, we don't ask the why questions. Imagine you would just simply say, what would need to happen so you understand me? Or how Is it possible you don't understand me? Or how would I need to explain that topic to you so you understand it? How and what are powerful questions, way beyond the power of a why. Why is a good question, but a how and a what shifts the whole communication to a totally, absolutely different level. So I'm inviting you, try to avoid the why question and go for how and what questions. Understand, for example, that you also in NLP learn to read people's mind. No, you don't learn how to read people's mind. You learn to understand how do you need to communicate so they get you ultimately. What is a style of communication they prefer? And you master the art of storytelling, and you're mastering the art of reframing objections, and you're mastering the art of hypnotic language patterns. All of that is powerful, possible when you learn good NLP. So you're learning to speak to individuals as well as to groups. And hey, of course, I got to say that right now that our next training is upcoming in December. Nacho and I, we have decided, let me just put this a little bit higher and spread it out a little bit more. We have decided that our next training is taking place. Priya, good to see you. That our next training is not, the final training for 2019 is not September. Because of a huge demand coming up, we had people asking us, hey, can you do something before next year? So we decided to create a new course in December. Here are the 3 modules running in December. First module, December 5 to 8. Second module, December 13 to 15. Third module, December 20 to 22nd. This includes timeline therapy techniques as well, of course. So hey, if you know people that would like to learn the most amazing NLP, become an NLP practitioner with us here in Asia Mind Dynamics, please refer them to us. Or if you, know somebody, just tag them in this Facebook Live here right now that comes slowly to the end here right now. And yes, linguistic skills are the most important skills you really can learn in your life, just like Peter Drucker was saying. So imagine for a moment if you are able to increase your linguistic skills 10-fold, 20-fold, or just 10% or 20%. Wow, how would your life look like? With that, I hope to hear from you soon. I believe that you hopefully enjoyed that video. Share it on your timeline. Comment some more. I'm going to get back to you individually on these comments overall. Along that line, share this video, like this video. And for you who are listening in here right now, I wish you good night and bye-bye. Good night.